Yeah, bring your A game this time, cause next sound studios recording live. Top notch sound with an A1 crowd and they clapping their hands up all night. Here is where we shine, like stars that we are. Provide next sound, entertainment all night long. Here it next sound, run that back, need it encore. Provide next sound, run that back cause they wanna see more. Here is where we shine, like stars that we are. Provide next sound, entertainment all night long. Here it next sound, run that back, need it encore. Provide next sound, run that back cause they wanna see more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the host of Next Sound Live, the director, Will be Walker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Next Sound Live, where each week we connect independent music artists with their fans. I'm your director, Will be Walker, and I'll be walking you through tonight's musical journey. In a director's cut, I sit with top indie music artists and get the stories behind the lyrics of the songs performed here on Next Sound Live. Stay connected with us on social media at Next Sound Live. And if you are an independent music artist and would like to be a part of this amazing platform, submit your music links to the QR code below. Now, let's talk about tonight's featured artist. Creating and performing music from an early age, Adrian Danon is a singer and multi-instrumentalist. Inspired by rock, dance, and electronic genres, his sound challenges musical norms and dark melodic soundscape. We welcome Adrian Danon and everyone to the director's cut. Let's get to the stories of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the show singer and multi-instrumentalist Adrian Danon.
Yeah, bring your A game this time, cause next sound studios recording live.
Welcome back. It's been a while since I sat with you, so just do a little catch up. Anything new, what's been up since the last time we sat down?
Not a whole lot, I'm working on my next album. I've been writing a fair bit, playing out every now and then, just enjoying life.
Let's get into some of the songs you performed here at Next Sound Live. Let's start with Beautiful Ghost. And many people have lost someone, and whether it was through tragedy or heartbreak. How do you feel that this song relates to the listener the most?
I feel that the song encapsulates the sensation of loss, whether it be a lover or a loved one, and I really think that it's not about like a particular person per se, but it can relate to that experience in many people.
And I was going to say, what does the beautiful, if it's not a particular person, what does the beautiful ghost in this song represent to you?
Well, it began with the loss of my grandfather, and it kind of just took on a different perspective the more that, as I wrote it out, and it started to shift focus to like an undisclosed person who lost their lover, and it just kind of snaked everything.
What line started with when you were starting to think the initial phase of it? What were some of the first lines that came to mind?
It was definitely the chorus of the song, like "You Know How It Goes." Like that was the first thing that came to me, and I was like, oh, let's try building a song out of that.
Out of that? That's cool.
Like it was the melody and the lyric came first to that.
And if you have any ghosts of your past, do you keep a place for any of them?
I think, everybody is a product of their past, and, but it's about being in the present and looking towards the future as well.
What ghosts do you have?
Well.
Let's talk about that.
I mean, I had a bit of a rough childhood. It's it definitely informs who I am as a person. But, the ghosts can become your friends, and you can use them as inspiration to write.
See, this is the guy that I know. We have worked together outside, and Adrian has a pretty dark Very dark sense of humor, very humorous, but very on the dark side. So I like when that comes out. We get to laugh a little bit with you. And I understand a little birdie told me that you are in love now.
Yes.
So our our dark music may be taking a strange shift from this dark to being light and rosy. So let's talk about that a little bit. How has that helped change and form your ways of writing?
I mean, I've had a brighter outlook on life than I have historically in the past, and I mean, I do feel like the songs I am currently working on do have some dark themes to them, but there is more of like a triumphant feel, more hopeful feel.
More hopeful.
It's not as desolate and like there's no way out. You know, it's more like there's the light. You can see it. You know, go through it. So,
what message or closure or hope do you hope that the audience takes from your performance?
I think in particular to this song or in general?
Yes, and in particular to Beautiful Ghost.
I think that the song to me means it's okay to grieve, you know, but it's also okay to like move past it and to, you know, like be released from
like
that.
You mentioned earlier your grandfather passing. In addition to music, what were some of the things that you did to deal with that grief?
I definitely celebrated his memory, you know. I talked to my relatives. I became closer with my family, you know, as a result. And I think exploring your family history is cool too, you know. Like there's a lot of the song deals with my regrets of not being able to ask him about his life, you know. Like that is a central theme of like the regret, you know, like thinking, oh, I could have said this, I could have done that, I could have asked this. But in a way, you know, you become closer with your family as a result. If that makes any sense.
It does. Well, thank you for that little piece of insight from your personal life and how it reflected into this performance of Beautiful Ghost. Here he is performing it here, Next Sound Live. Here we are with Adrian Danon and Beautiful Ghost. We'll be back.
Waits by the phone for an answer that won't come, and she's worried about her baby. He didn't come home. I tell her, you know how it goes. People leave when you need the most. Beautiful ghost set free. She goes to work, she goes about her day, living in slow motion. What is there to say? I tell her, you know how it goes. People leave when you need the most. Beautiful ghost set free. A moment in time, playing on a loop in your mind. You're begging to find release. Close the door, but it's open yet again. She puts a setting on the table for her dead best friend. The lights begin to flicker, the wind begins to blow. A glass upon the table falls and shatters down below. To tell her, you know how it goes. People leave when you need them most. Beautiful ghost, set free. A moment in time, playing on a loop in your mind. You're begging to find release.
Yeah, bring your A game this time, cause next time studios recording live. Top outside with an A1 crowd and they clapping their hands up all night.
Welcome back to Next Sound Live. We hope that you enjoyed that performance. Now, if you're an independent music artist and would like to be a part of this amazing platform, submit your music links to the QR code below and follow us on social media at Next Sound Live for exclusive content. We're in the director's cut with Adrian Danon. Now let's talk about another song that you performed here, which is Vandal. One of the lyrics in that song say, "You're a vandal in the Garden of Eden." And it kind of takes us to a biblical place. What moment or relationship made you put those words together?
I like the way it sounded. You know, it really didn't have a lot of conscious meaning to me when I wrote it, but I like the idea of like there's a pure place and there's some inherent force that's, you know, messing it up with some graffiti and stuff. You know, I like the contrast of like here's this like sacred pure place and then here's some guys coming in and like spray painting the walls. You know,
Is this song another depiction of your life, or is it something that you just kind of?
It was more
Pull
from
for
the
reality.
subconscious. You know, I don't really know if it has a meaning consciously to me, but I mean, I think that the chorus, like, it relates to the strong people in my life. You know, like I had a friend at the time going through something really difficult, and like I knew that they had the power in them to overcome like the obstacle. So there was a little bit of that. But to the verse, I just kind of like the way it sounded. It was just cool, you know?
Okay.
Like it just popped into my head one day and I was like, let me run with that. Let me run with that, see where it takes me.
Well, and as you mentioned, the song is like about something sacred, like being vandalized. So has that ever happened in your own personal life? You
I
mentioned
mean-
another friend, but has that, besides that friend, has that ever happened in your life?
I have felt like, you know, disrespected and betrayed. You know, I think that does play into that sensation a little bit. You know, in the workplace, I mean, sure, working at restaurants, you know, like I was definitely like kind of teed off when I wrote that line about that, you know, like, but I don't know if like literally it ever happened to me, but definitely elements of it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And dark graffiti on sacred walls, you mentioned that. It's such a strong picture. What does that image mean to you, and what's the story behind it?
I really love the opposite effect of it, you know, the contrast of light and dark, and I think it's an interesting mental image that it comes to, you know, that brings to mind. I think it's also like very like violent. You know, there's like a certain violence about it, a certain maliciousness about it, which I admired, and maybe it could embody the transgression against my friends at the time.
Okay, another line that you wrote. Here I am with the power to be good like I should, standing tall, ivory tower. What power did you discover in yourself, and how did it change the way you looked at that relationship, or how you view different relationships?
I think it's important to understand your worth, you know, understand like your competence, what you're good at. And I think that helps to empower, you know, that helped to empower myself in the sense of my career, you know, my interpersonal relationships. And I think that line has a little bit to do about that.
What personal powers or strengths did you find within yourself, or have you discovered?
Well, when I was younger, I was very shy. You know, I had trouble socially, you know, speaking to people and socializing. And I overcame that through a lot of hard work. And now I'm able to, you know, have small talk and, you know, make friends and do all that and have fun and be social. Whereas, like, it was an uphill battle when I was younger to express that part of myself.
Thank you. Of
course.
Getting to know a lot about Adrian today.
Yeah.
And if this Garden of Eden that you described in the song was a part of your life, what parts have been vandalized? You talked about it a little bit, but let's talk a little deeper about the parts that have been vandalized, or the parts that you may have had to clean up a little bit.
Well, I think also like my Garden of Eden would have like a recording studio, and it would have like a sacred space to create art. And also around the time I was writing the song, I was dealing with really bad roommates and really bad neighbors. And they didn't really appreciate me playing guitar in my own apartment. So I guess also, like, it's just coming to mind right now. But I think that may be one of the acts of vandalism against me, against my sacred space. Like a safe space, if I will.
Your music.
Exactly.
Trying to take it away.
But that would be a part of my Garden of Eden as well. Like a nice soundproof room where I could just bang away on the guitar,
Well, you don't have to worry about a soundproof room. We got you right here performing Vandal live. Here he is at Next Sound Live, Adrian Danon with Vandal. We'll be back.
Yeah, bring your A game this time, 'cause Next Sound Studios recording.
You're a vandal in the Garden of Eden, desecrating sacred walls, illustrating dark graffiti. It only serves to damn us all. But I know in your heart you are pure, like a flower torn apart, bit by bit, thrown away and devoured. This I know to be true. Here am I with the power to be good, like I do, standing tall, ivory tower. You're a vandal in the Garden of Eden, desecrating sacred walls, illustrating dark graffiti. It only serves to damn us all. But I know in your heart you are pure, like a flower torn apart, bit by bit, thrown away and devoured. This I know to be true. Here am I with the power to be good, like I should, standing tall, ivory tower. Vandal in the Garden of Eden, desecrating sacred walls, illustrating dark graffiti. It only serves to damn us all. You're a vandal in the Garden of Eden, desecrating sacred walls, illustrating dark graffiti. It only serves to damn us all.
Yeah, bring your A game this time, 'cause Next Sound Studios recording live. Top-notch sound with an A1 crowd.
Welcome back to Next Sound Live. If you'd like to be a part of our studio audience, or if you're an indie music artist and would like to be a part of Next Sound Live, scan the QR code below. And we're in the director's cut with Adrian Danon. Another song that you performed here with us is Like a Vampire. And the song opens with, "It takes control as you lay in bed alone at night." Now, what was the force of control for you when you wrote this? Was it love, lust, addiction, or something different?
I think primarily the thought going into writing this song was addiction. I mean, not only like my own vices, but the vices of a very close friend of mine. He was dealing with a heroin addiction at the time, and I just really felt for him because, like, he idolized a lot of musicians from the '90s, and like that's what they did, you know, for worse, you know, and he just kind of went down a very dark path with that, and it became crippling. And it also dealt with my own experiences, like being addicted to nicotine. You know, I'm still, to this day, very dependent on it, you know, and I've always wanted to quit, but it's just grabbing you, you know, grabs you, and it doesn't let go. And that was my main two thoughts going into this tune.
Okay. And you describe a temple of sin that pulls you in. What does that temple represent in this story? Is it a person, a place, state of mind?
I think it's a state of mind. You know, it's your like a chemical need in your brain to like just it needs more of that. You know, and to me that's the place it goes.
And within that, how does that relate to you within your own struggles, or what you've seen other people struggle with?
For me, it's I'd say it's like a battle between like the wanting to quit, the wanting to get out of that situation, but also like there's that chemical dependence, you know, that brings you right back, and like you end up needing or believing that you need something, you know, just because your brain is like, I really, really need that.
Well, the heroin is chemically, like when people are addicted to it, they get sick if they don't have it. Nicotine, on the other hand, you can quit without the shakes. You get the shakes, but not like the shakes that you need to be hospitalized for.
Definitely not on the same level, you know. But I do feel like there was a point where I was like smoking 2 packs a day. Like it was really bad. It was really bad, you know. And I was so dependent on nicotine that it kind of almost felt like it. You know, there was moments where like it'd be an hour without one, and I'd be like, you know.
Or like not having a cigarette in the morning and you feeling like a vampire needing blood.
That's where we come back to it. You know, it's like, is the drug the vampire, or is like the person using it the vampire? You know, like does it change you metaphysically, you know, into this legendary creature, or you know, is the other way around? Like what takes more?
Well, have you ever felt like giving into temptation or a situation would cost you a piece of your soul? I can answer this for you because I know we worked in the industry where we were selling our souls.
I mean, that's a great example. You know, I was also like, when I wrote it, I was deep into the industry, and like, yeah, you are, you know, you sell your time, you know, you sell your peace of mind, your stress, everything, you know.
Sell your talent.
Yeah, exactly. Like the time you could have been doing other more productive stuff, you're there, you know, and yeah, I think that definitely has a lot to do with that. That's a smart parallel.
I have one more question before we go into this performance. It is, you sing, you want it forever, but you want it no more. That push and pull is real. Can you share a story where you live that cycle of craving something and hating it at the same time?
Going back to the cigs, you know, it's like you want it, but you're like, oh, this is so free, you know, it's gross. It's just so gross. And like, there's always that constant battle of the will. It's like, this is a disgusting habit. I need to stop it, but I really want it, you know? And like, it's that duality that really drives the whole idea.
It drives us as people.
Yeah.
I think we all have an inner vampire in us, and we'll keep that in mind as we enjoy this performance of Vampire. Here's Adrian Danon with Vampire. We're Next Sound Live, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, bring your A game this time, cause Next Sound Studios recording live. Top notch sound with an A1 crowd, and they clapping their hands up. Yeah, bring your A game this time, cause Next Sound Studios recording live. Top notch sound.
It takes control as you lay in bed alone at night. Your temple of sin sucked you in and made you feel desire. You want it forever, you want it no more. You made your mistake, now the damage is done. You thought to yourself, what the hell, it's gonna be a good time. You're hungry for more, on a dough, you're shaking like a vampire. You lost your soul when she laid you on the funeral pyre. Your temple of sin sucked you in and made you feel the fire. You want it forever, you want it no more. Oh, you made your mistake, now the damage is done. Thought to yourself, what the hell, it's gonna be a good time. You're hungry for more, on a dough, you're shaking like a vampire. You thought to yourself, what the hell, it's gonna be a good time now. You're hungry for more, on a dough, shaking like a vampire. You thought to yourself, what the hell, it's gonna be a good time. You're hungry for more, on a dough, you're shaking like a vampire. You thought to yourself, what the hell, it's gonna be a good time now. You're hungry for more, on a dough, shaking like a vampire. Oh, yeah.
Great show tonight. Tune in next week when we'll have another indie music artist taking the stage. Also, get the exclusives by following us on all social media platforms at Next Sound Live. Good night, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, bring your A game this time, cause next sound studios recording live. Top notch sound with an A1